Okay, this is the real Guardian, and I just want to say, like, I am so grateful right now. You guys have given me over 40 subscribers within 24 hours, and a video that has also already almost hit 350 views. I am really grateful. I would like you guys to watch everything else, like the first What If I ever did, which was a Fire Force What If crossover with MHA that not a lot of people watch because it's an hour long, but I'd like you guys to watch it and give me your feedback on it. I'd also like you to watch the entire Xenoblade series, and though they are split up, and give your opinion there. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's just get this started because I want to go to bed. Okay. Over the next 2 days, Tsunade has trained Naruto even harder, to the point where he has completely mastered his chakra control. He's also mastered the water walk and the tree climbing exercise. He's also told once his big sister Shizune, because I've been learning how to pronounce it better, gets back, she will start teaching him jutsu. And Tsunade said she'll start teaching him medical ninjutsu after that. She then told him to go get a bath and eat dinner. That Shizune has left for them, since Tsunade is not the best cook now. He is going to sleep when Kurama starts talking, simply asking, "How are you, Naruto?" He then just laughs, saying he's fine, but I will admit, it was hard to get his chakra control down. Kurama then laughs, saying, "Well, it's because you have a nearly bottomless supply of chakra. Honestly, if you add mind to it, you have a void. But being able to master it at your age is quite an accomplishment as well. To the point I've thought of a gift I could give you." With Naruto asking, "What kind of gift is it?" Kurama now deciding to tease him a little by saying, "It's the kind of gift you need to be older for, Naruto." This causing Naruto to blush instantly, and then screaming in his head, "Really? I thought it was a normal gift, Kurama." He then chuckles, saying, "My real gift is knowledge, and I'll help you with your chakra natures tonight." So, sorry. So, come into your mindscape. Then Naruto asks, "But how will we be doing this? My days now from now on until I get into the academy will be filled with training. Also, how do I get in my mindscape?" Kurama then answers, "When you go to sleep, I'll pull you into the mindscape and help you train. We'll be starting as soon as you go to sleep, okay?" That Naruto closes his eyes and goes into his mindscape. Now, since has been here, he has changed the cage area for Kurama by giving her a small house with a large field with trees all around it, with the sewer still being on the outside right now, though. He walks up to the cage and shouts, "Hey, I'm here, Kurama." With that, she runs out, jumping, landing in front of the cage with her ears and tail wagging. She then says, "Thank you so much for this, Naruto. But I have to ask, why did you leave it like that on the outside?" Naruto then tells her he's fine with it. "So, you wanted to teach me about chakra natures, right?" Kurama then nods, telling him, "So, what do you know, Naruto?" He then thought about saying, "I think it has something to do with elements, I'm guessing." Kurama then nods her head, saying, "Yes, it does do something with elements. Now, I'm going to give you the crash course on this. There's 5 basic natures. They go as such: fire, wind, lightning, earth, and water. Now, fire is strong against wind, but weak against water. Wind is strong against lightning, but weak against fire. Lightning is strong against earth, but weak against wind. Earth is strong against water, but is weak against lightning. And finally, water is strong against fire and weak against earth. These are what is described as the 5 basic natures. Now, there is more to how the natures operate and other types as well, but right now we're focusing on the basics. Now, normally you can use chakra paper to see what types you have, but I can tell you what you have. Just channel your chakra through my hand, okay, Naruto? Just Naruto then does what he's told, and he channels his chakra. Then Kurama in turn channels her chakra as well. They say like this for about 5 minutes. Just then Kurama stops telling Naruto to stop. She then smiles, giving him a quite happy face, saying, "Okay, you actually have all 5, and you have an insanely strong affinity for all of them." Makes sense given your heritage, though. But I think it's best to start with this one. She then makes a small gust of wind in her hand appear. She makes a small gust of wind and make a tornado appear in her hand. Naruto asks, "Why is that?" Kurama then chimes in, "Is because it seems out of all of them, you gravitate towards this one the most right now. So it would be easiest to learn." Now, the technique I'd like to show you is called the Gale Palm. It's generally used to increase velocity, or if you collapse your hands together, you can compress it and turn it into a powerful gale with the force to knock someone over. Now, since this is your first time using wind, I want you to make your chakra thin, and by doing this, make it sharp. Now, this is what you're going to practice first, and once you learn this, I'll teach you the Gale Palm as the starting technique. Naruto's spending the whole night practicing with wind chakra nature. He finally collapses on the ground after hours in the mindscape, panting, being out of breath, then telling Kurama, "I'm starting to get the hang of it, right?" She then nods, saying, "Yes, you are, and given your age, and you just learned to master your chakra control, what you have done so far is beyond impressive. Now, you'll be waking up very soon. So before you go, come close to the cage, Naruto." He then walks up closer to the cage as Kurama quickly kisses him on the cheek, causing Naruto to freak out a bit, saying, "Why did you do that, Kurama?" She then said in a playful tone, "This is your reward for your hard work for the past 2 days." Okay, she then gives him a cheeky grin, with this causing Naruto just to click his tongue, saying, "Okay, but next time you should warn me." With Kurama saying, "Nope, it's way more fun this way." And as Naruto was going to object, he fades away, darting his eyes open to hear his mom saying, "It's time to eat," and then they're going to see their big sister at the gate. Okay, Naruto then says in his mind, "This is not over, Kurama," with her making innocent whistling noises, saying, "Sure it is." Now we cut to the front of the village gate. Now we cut to the front of the village at the gate, with Naruto and Tsunade waiting at the gate. But as they're waiting there, a puff of smoke happens in front of them, with a small black toad with white spots on it appearing. Then bowing, saying, "Greetings to Master Naruto and Lady Tsunade," with Naruto saying, "Hey there, Elos, how have you been?" With him responding, "Quite well, actually. I've come bearing 2 messages and a gift. One is a message for the third. Jiraiya needs it delivered as soon as possible. And the other message is for Naruto as well as a gift." Naruto smiling, thinking to himself, "Great, I have not talked to or heard from Dad in a while." Now he is just standing there smiling with no tomorrow as Tsunade looks at him and just sighs, then saying to herself, "Really, you old perverted fool. You old perverted fool. And I think I'm the one spoiling Naruto too much lately. Why did Minato ever make you his grandfather? Ever make you his godfather?" Then she says this to Elos. "Okay, I'll deliver it on one condition. You stay with Naruto until Shizune arrives. Got it?" With that, Elos nods his head, saying, "That is all right. He can keep the boy company until then." With that, Tsunade grabs the message from his back and body flickers away. Now, 2 of the guards standing in the front are staring at Naruto, but as they're doing this, Elos sends them a bloodlust so poignant and thick it nearly makes them pass out. He may be a small toad, but he is considered a sage toad for a reason. He then uses his tongue, tossing Naruto the message as he opens it, reading it. It says, "Hey there, Naruto, my son. How are you? Sorry I can't be around all the time because of my spy network, but I hope you're doing well. Now, I found this really cool item while on my travels, and I thought it'd be perfect for you. Since the last message I got from Tsunade is that she's upping your training with that lovely big sister of yours. Quite the pair, I'd say. I'll be coming back for I'll be coming back for about 2 days in a month, so we can get the ramen you love so much, and I can train you a bit. I'd like you to send me a message back. I'd like you to send me a message back to me later on, so we can keep up with each other. Okay, Naruto?" With that, Naruto closes the scroll. Then Elo spits out the gift. It's wrapped in a cloth. As Naruto unwraps it, he sees a sword with this green hilt in the shape of a fox head, with red eyes, thinking they are the same color as Kurama's eyes. He then pulls it out of this black sheath, and to see the blade has a green tip at the end. Naruto saying this is really cool with it. Ilo saying yes, and it seems like sorry. Ilo saying yes, and it seems to be something he thought you would like. Naruto then just nods his head, saying, "I love it." With Kurama in complete shock, speaking up, saying, "No way. How's that still around?" Naruto then asking in his head, "What's wrong, Kurama? You sound scared." Then she says, "No. This is one of the 7 fox swords that were made using my chakra. It's a joint weapon between 2 clans created in the nation of Whirlpool. This is the wind sword in particular. This allows someone access to wind chakra nature even if they don't have it, Naruto. And it amplifies it insanely since it involves me. But if you were not my host or the Jinchuriki, it will drive you to complete insanity. And to think it would find its way here. It seems fate has worked in mysterious ways, Naruto." Just then, Naruto tells her in his mind, "Wait, so this will make my wind stronger?" Oh, it seems like I learned how to use a sword now. He starts to smile. Just then, he sees her, and he starts running up to her as fast as he can, screaming, "Big sis!" He then bolts, and as he bolts, he tackles into her, with Shizune crashing to the ground, with him giving her a bear hug. Shizune saying, "Hey Naruto, it's great to see you again. By the way, where's the lady?" As she coughs and tries not to choke a little. Naruto then tells her Elos came and she had to go give a message to the third. "So, how was the mission?" With Shizune then giving Naruto a look, he then realized she's still hugging her, still on the ground. He quickly gets off of her, saying he's sorry. He just misses seeing her. With Kurama chiming in, "I don't mind you having a harem of women if you want that. But I think you need to learn more about her. After all, you are showing signs of romantic love towards her deeply, Naruto." Naruto saying, "Kurama, please. I know I have those kinds of feelings about her, but I'm just the little brother to her, okay?" Kurama saying, "Well, when you start to grow up as a man, show her how much you can be a man, and I guarantee she'll fall for you." Naruto. She then cuts the link before Naruto can rebuttal or asks what she means. Now, after Shizune has dusted herself off telling Naruto about her mission, basically it went well, and with her help, the village now has a couple medical ninjas, so they don't have to keep coming to leave for treatment or getting help. Now, I was told to teach you by the lady, she said in the most recent message. But since I just got back, I know we're going to have some fun, Naruto. With that, Naruto saying, "What kind of fun?" With Shizune saying, "A bath, of course. After all, I promised the lady we would eat out with you. And since she's busy right now, and I can tell you did not bathe yourself properly last time, well." With this, Naruto gulps. He knows his big sis is really into hygiene. So he knows there's no way out of this. He then just says, "All right, big sis." She then gives him a scary but happy smile. Then Elos walks up, saying, "It's good to see you, my lady. But now that you're here, I must be going on my way right now." He then poofs into a cloud of smoke. As they're walking back, she then asks Naruto, "So what is that?" As she points to the cloth item. Naruto answers, "Oh, this is a gift from Dad. It's a sword. It's really cool looking." He pulls it out to show it to her. Shizune saying, "Well, it's very pretty and cool looking, but I want you to be careful with it. It's still a weapon." As she wags her finger at him, she then thinks to herself, "Seriously, Master Jiraiya, why did you give that to a child?" She then sighs. As they walk back into the house, she then grabs Naruto as they as he takes off his shoes, picking him up, saying, "Now, I'm just making sure you won't try to run away and get out of this." She then gives him that scary smile again, with Naruto just sighing in defeat. As they both go in the bathroom, with Shizune, sorry, I'm having trouble with my tongue. I don't know why. Scrubs Naruto from head to toe to make sure he's actually clean this time. With Naruto blushing embarrassment since she's seeing him naked right now. And he's trying not to look at her since it would make it worse. He then takes a deep breath and then lets it out. She then says she's done. Now she's going to help finish rinsing him off and drying him up. And after that, she then hands Naruto a change of clothes, saying, "Okay, now get dressed. I will take one myself. So go wait in the kitchen for me, okay? I'll even make a small snack until Lady Tsunade gets back." With that, Naruto gets out. With that, Naruto nods his head, gets changed, and get and walks out. Now he grabs the gift that his dad gave him, as he then sits down on a chair in the kitchen. As he looks at it, he then decides to pump his chakra through it, causing it to glow green, with the tip of the sword being as bright as a sun. He then realized it's like the sword has a mind of its own. It wants to go wild, as if a beast within it wants to be unleashed. So he quickly stops to be safe. He then hears the bathroom door open. He reseats it, and then he puts it next to the table. Then Shizune walks in to see Naruto sitting there with the sword next to him. She then asks, "So, I think some fruit, some crackers, and a cookie will be good enough for right now. Is that okay, Naruto?" He says that's more than okay with him. She then grabs it. Naruto asking, "So how long are you going to be staying this time?" Shizune then smiles at him as she brings a snack. "I'll be here until you graduate from the academy, at the very least, Naruto. So get used to seeing me around more again." She gives him a smile. And Naruto gives a smile back, saying, "That's great. I've been missing you and someone around the house lately." This is causing Shizune to get a little sad, because she remembers he's still a 4-year-old kid. So he really needs companionship and time with his family, even if we're his adopted family. Now she does smile again, saying, "I missed you too." She then rubs Naruto's hair, causing him to blush. And then they eat their snack, and Shizune decides, well, they're still waiting for Lady Tsunade at this point to get back. So how about she just gives the rundown of the basic jutsu. She then clears her throat. "Now, what do you know about jutsu?" Naruto then tells her, "I know it involves using chakra and hand seals, right?" Shizune then nods her head, saying yes, but there's also other types of jutsu, like Genjutsu. Use chakra and the sensory ability to make things or people surrounding different. They're not real though, but it's meant to trick an enemy. Next is taijutsu. Now this is usually done without chakra, but it can be added to enhance it. This is basically martial arts and hand-to-hand combat. Now, these are the three basic jutsus. Now then, there's other types, but right now it's best that you stick to the basics, okay? This Naruto nods his head. Just then they hear the front door open. Naruto gets up, and when he sees Tsunade, he just runs up and hugs her, saying, "Welcome back, Mom. So, are you ready to go get ramen?" He then gives her a puppy dog look. She then sighs as she's trying not to give in to it. "In a minute, I need to tell your big sis something very important right now, okay?" She walks up. She walks to the kitchen and up to Shizune. Then she whispers in her ear, "They're on the move again. So she will be watching him for a while, okay?" With that, she just nods her head. They both go back to the front door, seeing Naruto put on his own shoes. And they both say, "Are you ready to go?" Naruto smiles, with Naruto yelling, "Hell yeah!" with them giving him a look, "Don't you dare curse around us." They then go to the ramen stand. When they walk in, Naruto says, "Hey there, old man," with Tsunade and Shizune giving him a look. The ramen guy just saying, "It's fine. After all, Naruto is his best customer." With that he laughs, saying, "Hey, Amy, Naruto's here." Just then, a younger version of Amy comes out. She's 7-year old currently in this. Now, she is wearing what she would normally wear in the anime. So, back to the story. Now, she then runs up and high fives Naruto, saying it's been a while. With both of them starting to talk, with Tsunade and Shizune getting to the counter, then telling him, then telling, then telling, telling the ramen man the usual for all of us, because those two definitely need some time to catch up with each other. He nods his head as he goes to the pack to make the food. As Amy and Naruto are talking about random stuff and what's been going on, and then they get to the point of the conversation with Naruto saying, "So yeah, I've been training like a madman lately." With Amy bumping her fist into Naruto's chest, saying, "Well, don't you dare forget about us while you are training." Naruto saying, "I would never forget the old man and the cute Amy." This causing Amy to blush and making Tsunade just sigh again. I need to have another talk about that again. But now that I think about it, he's like his mother completely in that sense. I remember when she was a young academy student, she had every boy wrapped around her finger just because she had the problem of saying what she was thinking as well. So you could say, mother like son. She then chuckles. Just then their order came out, and Tsunade said, "Come on, Naruto, it's time to eat before your food gets cold." "All right then," he says. He then tells Amy, "Well, it's time for us to eat. We could talk some more right after, right?" She says, she smiles. She smiles and blushes, saying, "Of course." Now, we're going to cut the nighttime. As Naruto is falling asleep, he enters his mindscape. He then darts up to see that he's already in front of Kurama's cage. He walks up to it, shouting, "Hey, you there, Kurama?" Because normally she'd be bolting out immediately already. She then comes out of the house, clearly in a dazed state, with her clothing not in the best shape, walking up to Naruto saying, "Oh, hey there, Naruto." He then blushes and looks away. "So you said you're going to teach me the Gale Palm today, right?" With that, she nods her head. "I'm also going to teach you the basics of Kenjutsu, but we'll get there when we get there." She then shows him how to do the Gale Palm. She then tells Naruto, "I'm going to go get freshened up. See you in a bit." With that, Naruto thinks, "Good. I can look at her again without being completely embarrassed." He then starts training in the Gale Palm. And surprising, only after a few hours he gets done, with Kurama just coming back, clapping, telling him she's very proud of him. "Now come over here." Naruto does. She then taps his forehead. And the basics of Kenjutsu and what that means goes into his head. He then asks, "Wait, why did you not do this earlier?" She then says, "Because you need to get stronger, and the stronger you get, the more I can do this. Plus, I want you at times to feel like you truly accomplished your own work and feats on your own. And I may be giving you knowledge, but remember, without experience, you can't use it properly. Ever." She then says, "Here." She does some she weaves some quick hand signs. Just then, another one of her appears outside the cage, and she then tells Naruto, "Now imagine a sword." It then appears in Naruto's hand, it being just a simple katana. And then the other Kurama having a similar looking katana as well. She says, "Good, you got a few hours left, so that means going to put you through the ringer till you master the basics, okay?" That Naruto nods, and he gets put through hellish training, and to the point where he's panting to near death from it. As he's saying in between it all, "You were not kidding, Kurama." With that, with that, with him saying that, she then says, "Yeah, but you got the basics down and mastered them. You're actually one of the quickest learners I've ever met, Naruto." He then asks, "Really?" She nods her head. Just then, Naruto disappears. Kurama thinking, well, it's time to go back. Maybe I can get a 15-hour nap this time. With her re-entering the house. Now, we're going to cut to the training field, where Shizune explained to Naruto how to do the transformation and substitution jutsu. She then weaves both their hand signs as she tells Naruto, both their hand signs showing them, as she then tells Naruto he needs to master this by the end of the week. But Naruto begins training just as hard as he did with Kurama last night, and shocking Shizune because he already mastered both of them within a few hours. Her only thought in this moment was Naruto a once-in-a-lifetime generational genius like his father, the fourth? She then shakes her head, walking up to Naruto, telling him, I'm very impressed that you did that so fast. With Naruto saying, you better believe it, with giving her a thumbs up. But before Shizune could respond, however, she sensed someone was fighting and realized the Anbu that was watching them was fighting someone. Just then, before she could think, an Anbu with a bear max body flickers in, chopping Shizune on the neck, knocking her out cold. He then turns to face Naruto, with Kurama waking up immediately, telling him to draw his sword now. This man is here to kill him. I can tell from the killing intent alone. You have got to defend yourself. Every Anbu I know is at least Jonin rank. So be very careful, because as long as you survive this, the other Anbu will quickly come in and try to end the situation. So you don't have to win this fight, Naruto. Naruto then calms himself, pulling out his sword as he draws it, thinking to himself, if today's my last day, then I'm grateful for the life I've already lived. He then dashes forward as he's channeling his chakra through the sword. But before he can even swing it, the Anbu blitz body flickers and swats him away, sending him flying, causing him to crash onto the ground. As the Anbu himself draws his own sword. Just then, Naruto felt the sword wanting to go wild again as it got more and more crazy in his hand. He was standing up, coughing up a lot of blood. Then just saying out loud, you want to go wild, huh? With the blade speaking to him. Saying this, give thee me a name, and my powers is yours to command, Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Just then, Naruto thinks of the only name he can think of at this moment. Your name is Reckoning. With this, the fox eyes glow on the sword. As a bright as they glow, the fox eyes on the sword glow as bright as red as they can be, with the name Reckoning being engraved onto the blade, as it's coated in green and red chakra, as it's pouring itself into Naruto, causing his left eye to become a red red with a slit. As the Anbu body flickers in front of Naruto, he then looks in horror as Naruto smiles, cocking his head up, with a single slash sending a wind blade style attack flying out of the sword as Anbu barely dodges it, and it cuts down 5 trees and before it even disappears, shocking the Anbu. He then weaves hand sign very quickly, then saying great fire blast, hand style, as he shoots out a flame blast out of his right hand. But Naruto then just smirks as he disappears completely. As the Anbu's trying to figure out what's going on, he appears right behind him, slashing with his blade. The Anbu does dodge it, but at a cost. He completely loses his right arm. He's wincing in incredible pain, but he knows he has to complete the mission. He then, with the sword in his left hand, starts to engage Naruto. But with every strike, every clash, every blow, every move, Naruto is getting more and more wild, like a wild, instinctual animal. But it's also making him stronger and stronger to the point where the Anbu can't even keep up, let alone fight back. He then quickly jumps back, getting some distance before Naruto can move in to close the gap. He then quickly throws every paper bomb he has, kunai style, whatever he has at him. Every paper bomb, every kunai, every shuriken, basically everything he has at him. Naruto then just creates a vortex of wind around him, knocking everything away. As everything is sent flying, bombs are exploding everywhere. He turns the vortex. He's while into the vortex, he's slashing wildly, sending wind style sword slash blast out. The Anbu at this point, realizing he has no hope of winning, quickly jumping to a nearby tree. He then sees the woman he's knocked out, getting up. He then body flickers down. Naruto, then realizing this, sees what the Anbu's about to do, and he blitzes him. As the Anbu is slashing his blade down in front of Shizune, Naruto appears right in front of her as well. Before she can even realize what's happening, Naruto's left arm gets completely cut off. Naruto goes in a blood frenzy because the thought of losing Shizune, with the anger, the hatred, the rage he's never felt before overtaking him. And he hasn't realized, but one of his eyes now has turned silver. Now, one of his eyes, particularly the right eye, has turned silver, with the center of being black as a void. As he then turns his sword with all his might and rage, chopping the Anbu's head off. Then he hears these words in a deep, monotone voice. The sacrifice has been accepted. Just then, a huge amount of his own chakra drained out of his body. Then a huge black void surrounded the Anbu's body, while the head was consumed. It turned into a little black dot, and it went into Naruto's right eye. Then the void that was sucking up the body sucked up everything but his clothes. It then healed Naruto's body, and his left arm was completely restored, but he was panting heavily from the loss of his chakra, and he was trying not to pass out. With Shizune trying to get up to help, but before she could, Naruto just collapsed on the ground. Just then, a white woman with a headband over one of her eyes comes in, saying, "So, you truly have awakened it then. I think Lily-sama would be quite proud of you." I'm going to end it here. Now, I've actually made this one a bit longer because given how amazingly you guys responded to this, I wanted to give you a bit more content this time. So I added a bit more, but it did require me spending most of the night editing this and adding some more to the writing. So I'm probably not going to do this again. Really quick, if you have watched this, then now you know my schedule, and this is going to be the schedule after I do the next one. As I said before, I did the first What If I Did was a Fire Force / MH crossover that barely got watched because it's an hour long, but I'd love you guys to watch it. Now, I'm going to do a part 2 that's going to be about the usual 22 minutes to 30 minutes, and I've already gone over my 30-minute cap for this, okay? But I want you all to know that I am still grateful for all this. And the schedule for the next set of what ifs for the part 3 will be Xenoblade first, Naruto after that, Fire Force, and then after that I will, in one of the videos, explain either I'm going to take a break deciding on this, or I'm going to make a new little schedule of which what ifs I'm going to do for the next parts. Again, I cannot say how grateful I am. Thank you so much. So please like, comment, subscribe, share. Help me boost my subscriber count because I want to get to 1,000 at this point because I want to have the community tab so I can interact with you guys even better and even more. And I really would like to one of these days make it where this is my job because I am absolutely loving this. And the first time in a long time, I truly mean this. I really don't feel depressed or want to commit suicide. It's one of the nicest things I've ever felt in a long time. Okay, with all that depressing stuff and with all my thanks out of the way, this is the Real Guardian signing off.